rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, scissors. Let's play a game, which is round 5. And this pledge says rock, paper, scissors. What do you think? Let's do rock. Tie. Paper. You won. Scissors. You won. Back to paper. You won. Damn, I'm killing it. Rock. You lost, but I won the round of 5. Hello world. It's Fangel the Cool Millennial. Today I will be talking about how I'm learning how to code as a beginner for free. So when I first started learning, I actually started learning on a Udemy course, a boot camp. I will show you which one it is. It was this one, the Complete 2002 Web Development Bootcamp by Dr. Angela Yu. And I was doing this course that my partner had bought already while I was still working. That worked okay for a while. I think you can see how far I got with this. I got pretty far, I feel like. I mean, I did like all the beginner stuff, so see, look, I did front end, HTML, CSS, I did Bootstrap, and then I got into JavaScript, and this is where things got really difficult for me. And even when I was doing like the projects in Bootstrap, it was kind of difficult to do this with like the video and trying to see what the video was showing, and like just like going back and forth with like the windows and the tabs was kind of difficult, and I don't know, I think the style of videos didn't really mesh with my style. And so when I got to JavaScript and was like confused as fuck, I decided to see if there was something else that would help me learn better. And I stumbled on to the Odin project. I had heard of this through YouTube and also Reddit as resources to learn how to code for free. And the reason that I wanted to self-learn versus do a boot camp, like a real life boot camp, not like a Udemy course boot camp, was the fact that I had some other things going in my life. So I needed some flexibility, and I think that boot camp is really intense, which has its pros, right? So you do 3 months of boot camp, 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, and 3 months later, you're like a full stack developer and can go get a job, right? But it's very intensive. You have to devote like your whole life to it basically for those 3 months, and you have to pay like probably 20 grand for the boot camp. And so I thought, I feel like I'm pretty motivated to do this, and I feel like I have the capability, and I believe in myself to learn new things, as hard as it may be to learn a new thing on your own. But I feel like I was motivated, and my circumstances needed me to have some flexibility in my learning schedule. And so I stumbled upon the Odin project, which I will show you now. This bootcamp is good. I learned from it. It just, I don't know. I just don't think I don't know. It's just not, me and it were not, I think it gave me a lot of frustration. And you know what, maybe that's just the part of learning, that there is like some sort of frustration. And a lot of the Reddit threads, when I was looking at like which method is the best to learn, it tells you just pick a method and just do all of it, like don't do this and then once it gets hard, do another course and do another course just when it gets hard, and then do another course, just like commit to it and just finish the one path that you decided on. But I also think that people learn in different ways, and so there are people who prefer video and there are people who prefer reading. And so I stumbled on the Odin project, which is an open source free resource for people to learn how to code and learn web development. And so I stumbled upon this, and I've been doing this for a month and a half, and then there was 2 weeks where Riley had Giardia, and I was like not sleeping at all. So I think that kind of slowed me down a little bit, but it's been a month and a half. The first section of the Odin project is the foundations. Ooh, 85%. I didn't know they had a percentage there. Anyway, foundations, which goes through all the basic web development stuff. So the same thing, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Right now, I am mostly through with JavaScript. I still have 3 big projects to do, and I guess 1 lesson, fundamentals for part 5 here that I have to do. But before I wanted to move on, see this one I'm on, revisiting rock, paper, scissors. This is the one I'm on, and I wanted to make this video and show you the before and after, and I can't really do the before video after I've already put in the UI. So I wanted to show you guys what I've done so far, and then we can look at what I can do afterwards and what my rock, paper, scissors will be afterwards. So I kind of want to compare the Odin project to the Udemy course and kind of go through like what I've learned through foundations so far. So in the introduction, it kind of tells you like how this course is built and how it's self-paced, and there's an intro to web development, like what it is, front end, back end, full stack, blah blah blah. It tells you the motivation and the mindset you have to kind of get through this curriculum, and just in general learning a new thing that you don't know anything about. It teaches you how to ask for help, and it teaches you how to ask questions in a way that will allow the most success to you and the most relevant replies and help that you can get back. And then they have joined the Odin community. They have a really active Discord channel that I kind of popped up. It's right here. It's very active. If you have any questions, you can go there and ask. I've gone there in the JavaScript a couple times when I wasn't sure what the lesson was asking, or if I wanted to see if somebody else had this question or issue in the past. I would look in the search bar. And what I really also like about the Odin project, and what I really like reading, is the success stories. So people post their success stories when they get hired after doing the Odin project, and it's really inspirational and motivational, and I like to read this just to get people's perspectives about the curriculum and kind of backs the curriculum. Although you could argue that, you know, people posting in there are like people out of like thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who have done it and never got a job. So what is it called? Survivorship bias. Take that for what you will. After you kind of get the introduction and the mindset, there's prerequisites, computer basics, like what's a computer, what's an operating system, how does the web work, and it teaches you like what really happens behind the scenes when you put like google.com into your browser, like what happens. And then installation overview, installations, text editor, so it tells you to download VS Code or some other text editor, command line basics, so using the command line and using the terminal. If you don't know what the terminal is, I had no idea what the terminal was before this, but like basically when you open to your Finder and go to your files and stuff, this is like the visual part of it, and you can see all the buttons and clicking them, and you know, making a new folder, putting a file in there, making a new file, moving files. This is all like where you can click things and drag them, right? And so using the terminal is basically maneuvering your Finder or your file explorer and all your files, but through commands using this big black abyss thing. Setting up Git. So Git is a version control system. Introduction to Git. It teaches you about the commands, and I think so in the installations we install Git, and introduction to Git and Git basics, and you learn about how Git works and the basic commands you need for Git. Do we learn about GitHub here already? Yeah, so we learn about GitHub here as well. So GitHub is a website. Basically, you can publish your versions onto GitHub, and it can be public for everyone to see and be under your profile. And then you do the HTML foundations. If you don't know what HTML is, basically just like what you see, like the words that you see. So let's actually show you my HTML project. It looks like so freaking old. Basically, so open index.html. All right, so this is my first project. This is what I made with just HTML. This one, Odin recipes. You see, it's like so simple. It's like a list and then like words, and nothing is styled. Although I did this background thing, which was probably meh. And so see, like nothing is styled. I have guacamole. I have a large ass photo that needs to be resized. Then you just have like words, right? You just have like headings and then paragraphs and lists. That's kind of what you learn. And you learn how to make multiple HTML pages. So like I clicked on Pansear tilapia and then it linked to this other page. You know, description, same thing. Numbered list, unnumbered list. What? Time for me to go to bed. You stir fry. Basically, same thing 3 times just to get the hang of it. So that's my HTML project. HTML is pretty, I think it's easy to understand. All right, CSS is where it gets a little bit harder. And then CSS foundations, you learn inspecting HTML and CSS using developer tools. So with developer tools, basically you can use it to see what is happening behind the scenes of what you're making. So like if I inspect this page right here, you know, developer tools, let's click like here. See, then you can see like what size it is, the padding, the border, the margin, position. You can see like what's happening here. It helps you understand what's happening behind the scenes so you can style it the way that you want to and modify those specific numbers and stuff. Learn about the box model, block inline, and then you learn about Flexbox, which I didn't learn in the Udemy course, and I feel like this is a much easier way to style things compared to what I was learning in the Udemy course, which is like absolute position and relative position, and I feel like that was harder to understand than Flexbox. And for Flexbox and CSS, the project I had was landing page. Let's go into it. You start with nothing and you have image 1, which is what this is the page that they want you to make. And they give you image 2, which tells you what colors and fonts to use. And then other than that, you're on your own and you make this thing from scratch. So I made this thing from scratch. It was a blank page and I filled in the HTML and the text and then I styled it. And here is my end product. I was really proud of myself for doing this, like, cause it looks good. It looks really good. You know, you put the header logo, and we did Flexbox here, Flexbox here, here, here. I did this button, and then the footer. So I thought that was pretty cool. And like, this looks nice, right? Like, damn. You know? Anyway. Alright, that's the landing page project. And then now, I'm on the rock, paper, scissors project. Fundamentals part 1, you learn about variables and numbers. Number 2, you learn about strings and conditionals. Fundamentals, we learn how developer tools help with JavaScript here. And you learned about functions, which is very important. And then they teach you about problem solving and the way to go about trying to solve a problem, like breaking it into pieces and doing it step by step. It tells you how to read errors and try to figure out what happened. when you get an error, the difference between an error and a warning. And now I'm on this rock, paper, scissors project. That's what happened in the beginning of the video. I don't know, I'm pretty proud of myself so far. Like, at multiple points in this journey, I absolutely had, like, in my mind, like, I don't know how I'm ever gonna do this rock, paper, scissors project. Like, I don't even know how I'm gonna do it. And then I do it. And now, like, I learned, okay, so after this project, I learned about clean code, I installed Node.js, I learned fundamentals part 4, which includes arrays, loops, and test-driven development. And I learned DOM manipulation and events. And DOM manipulation is kind of like manipulating the page. Like, if you click something, then something happens, and it changes the page, but it doesn't change the HTML. And now I have to make my rock, paper, scissors into like an actual page. Like, see, it's blank now, but I need to change it into an actual page where you can click what your choice is and, you know, display the score and display who won the round and display what the computer chose and all that stuff. And like, oh my god, like, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know right now. So it'll be really interesting to see how I get through this project. And after that, I have an Etch-a-Sketch project and a calculator project, which is probably going to be pretty hard. But after that, I'll have finished the foundations and then go to the back end. And, you know, I'm 85% there. So go me. That is what my process has been so far and how I'm learning to code for free as a beginner. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.